Oops, let's take that back behind there. Okay, we just did Jacob Lake, which is I can't remember what we're in. Nevada? No. Arizona? No. Utah? No. One of the, I forget. We're just going to go down this road. We've got a great ride ahead of us, good road ahead of us. We've just had one actually, me and Mike Belcher, who's a bit of an ex-racer. Beautiful stretch of curving road coming up from Kanab. We're on the 89A, which is sort of the southern route across to Page. You take this road to do Grand Canyon Northern Rim, but that road's closed at the minute. Grand Canyon's just down there, well, 30 miles down there, let's say. So we've fueled up. Actually, we're going to go this way. So yeah, that's Grand Canyon Road there to the Northern Rim. I think because of the temperature maybe, or the snow or whatever, they keep it closed till May time. We're going to double round and do Grand Canyon Southern Rim on the way back through after we've done Monument Valley and Durango, so we're not missing out on it, that is for certain. So yeah, we're on the southbound 89A. I can't tell you what date it is, it's sometime in late April, but this seems to be a good time to do it. The weather has been fairly kind to us, not too hot, and when it's been cold it's not been too cold, certainly for an English motorcyclist. The R18s, we're finding our way with them, you know. Are they great bikes? I would be hard to argue that they're great mechanical pieces of machinery, but to suit this environment, they're absolutely spot on. They're becoming part of the journey, and you know, I've grown fond of it. I've had the music playing today as we've been coming across the canyon or the valley, and yeah, it's just part of it, isn't it? It wouldn't be the same if we were on a GS or a RT. I suppose there might be better bikes for it, but would they be more enjoyable? Probably not. Where this is part of the learning curve, learning the usability and the pros and cons of a cruiser, which this kind of is, apart from the feet forward riding position. Yeah, so temperature's a bit chilly. What we got? 44 degrees. That's probably what, 12 degrees centigrade, something like that, so not too bad. Gardening gloves aren't that warm, but we'll be alright. We'll be at lower altitude at some point later today, and then we push on to Cayente, which is in Navajo land, which Navajo land is its own entity, own legal entity, its own laws, its own police, its own hospitals, but it's governed by the Navajo Nation. So really interesting how that sits inside the USA, and I'm not entirely sure how those two interact with each other on a federal level and then on this Navajo Nation level. But yeah, Cayente is the nearest town to Monument Valley. Obviously Monument Valley is the iconic three fingers of rock that rise up from the valley. Really iconic. You'll know it when you see it. And we're going to aim for Cayente tonight, maybe depending on what time we get into the hotel, push on the 25 miles to see sunset and then come back to the hotel. And then tomorrow we've got an even more, I'd say an even more spectacular ride along the Forrest Gump Road, and then out to Cortez to, again, Utah. But beautiful riding, beautiful scenery. But this is good, this is nice curvy roads, chance to relax a little bit, cool off. We've got rain gear on because there's a chance of rain a little bit later. You could do this on your own, you don't need a guided trip. I mean, I don't know where the rest of the guys are, they're all ahead of me somewhere, so they're all doing their own thing. Hopefully they're having the ride that they want to ride, really, at the pace they want to do it, stopping where they want to stop. So that's kind of that's how I like to do it, really. Means that everyone has a slightly different experience and sees different things and meets different people, and you know, that for me is has been a reminder on this trip as to why I like the USA so much as a destination to ride. Not just because of the riding, just because of the people you meet and the stories that they tell you, whether it's at gas stations or hotel receptions or wherever in the street. People are talkative out here, they're inquisitive, and obviously because of the shared language you can communicate. It's always been a slight frustration when you travel to somewhere that doesn't speak English as a native language. You can only sort of skim the surface and only gather so much in terms of storytelling from the people you meet, and it you know, it doesn't ruin it, it just shallows it off a little bit. So yeah, US for me is just a fantastic place to ride a motorcycle. So much variety, and look at this easy riding terrain. You stay in the cities or around the main tourist areas and it's busy. Zion was busy, Grand Canyon will be busy, but you come out on roads like this and, well, what were we seeing? 10 cars this morning in 50 miles. Yeah, and then this valley, hopefully I'll talk enough nonsense to take us through to this next valley. It's just what I really fondly remember from when I came across the States on the postie bike 10 years or more ago, and I just remember it just thinking, oh my goodness, I guess not the most dramatic, but just as a motorcycling scene, as a landscape, just breathtaking. So got Mike the bike Belcher. He's a bit of a dark horse. He's a fast rider, his bike. I'm not sure you want him behind you or not. We're both trying to get the hang of these R18s and how you hustle along a 440 kilo machine, and in some degrees you don't hustle, you let it flow, and yeah, just try not to run yourself wide or run yourself too close to the limit, because it's there's obviously one slip from the limit and you're straight over the edge. So I think it's building confidence with it, really. Like any different bike, you're building confidence. You're knowing what it'll do, how you get the best from it, how you feel confident with it, what gear, what line, what angle you've got to go at. I can't say as I'm quite there yet. I'm still using a bit of trail braking. I think that's the right technique on these big bikes. It's what I'd use on any other bike. Fifth gear. I mean, in fairness, we do 70 miles an hour. Yeah, so is it a slow bike? Well, not really, no. It's just deceptively slow, I think, or deceptively fast even. You know, you don't think you're going that fast, but you look down, 70, 74, 75, 80, 85, 90, slow down, 80, speed limit 45, sorry officer. You see what I mean? There is grunt to it and there is flow to it, and those two things mean you'd certainly end up going faster than what you perceive yourself to be going. Going down a fourth here, trying to stay out wide. I'm counter steering it, that's how I'm finding. Bit of counter steering, bit of inside pressure on the bar, so I'm just bringing the left bar back to me and putting a bit of wet pressure on the right bar. That's just helping the bike stay in. And if I want to tighten the line, I can obviously apply a little bit more pressure to that inside bar, and that's going to tighten me up a little bit. So that's how I'm steering. I'm just steering through the bars. So here I'm starting to set the left-hand grip, applying a little bit of pressure just through the palm, stabilising the bike, winding on the throttle, keeping the head up. Again, transition, slight decrease in pressure on the left bar, weight in the right. It's what you call counter steering. I think it's almost the wrong term for it, really, because you're not counter steering, I don't think. You're applying inside pressure. You're applying pressure in the direction at which you're turning, which makes actually complete sense. I'm pressuring light left-hand pressure there. Pressure through the left grip. Only slight. It's not heavy pressure. It's not heavy pressure. But it's just enough to get the tyre to turn. Right hand pressure there, just through the bar, winding on the power there. But again, we're doing 70 miles an hour. You know, Yeah. Is it better than a Harley? You know what? I honestly don't know. I've never ridden a Harley. Is it good enough to be a BMW? No, I don't think so. You would expect more from a BMW. You really would. Just more plushness, refinement, even the engine. You know, you just expect a little bit more from it, especially for the price. This one's £30,000. This old beast. You know, I kind of expect like this road here's got a bit of chop through it, not perfectly surfaced, so the bike is crashing a little bit. It's just not quite as softened as you'd expect, or plush. It's not terrible. And I don't know, you'd think in this day and age of high technology suspension would be a little bit better, but you know, you get used to it. Wind on the power, there we go. I mean, look at that, it's a 60-mile-an-hour corner. That's not a slow corner. I think if you had other bikes here to add context, you'd actually realise that this thing's cornering pretty fast. So I'm leading it in, dropping the left shoulder a little bit, looking through the corner as best I can, winding on the power there. Brakes, back to front, back brake, front brake, a little bit of front, dragging a bit of back brake, pressure on the right bar. Just covering them brakes. I don't have utmost faith in my ability on the bike yet. Powering through. You are wrestling, literally wrestling a rhino down here. That's what it feels like. Yeah, then you get into it. You start to understand how it moves. I'm actually moving across my body, using the elbows. Gets a little bit motor. Oh my word. And this is why it's my favourite road. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And I suppose this is a slight issue with doing it on a faster bike. Oh my goodness. When you do it on a posty bike, you've got a lot more time to take it in, the scenery. You're not focused on your riding, you're focused on the scenery and other things going through your mind. On the faster bike, unless you've got better restraint than I have, you know, you're focused a little bit too much on the old riding. That's why I definitely recommend a smaller bike sometimes for travelling, because it takes the input away on the bike. It leaves you free to see. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is my favourite piece of America. An unknown road, 89A. Nobody talks about it, but what a view. What a view. Howdy, cowboy. You need better gardening gloves.
Yeah, right. Not about as bloody warm as mine, I reckon. Yeah, it got a bit chilly out.
Did it?
I heard a bloody deer run straight across.
Oh really?
Just before we stopped. Just before, fucking hell. And I thought they'd gone, and another one came.
Yeah, you always got it. That was a nice road, Mike. I started to, you feel it. You start to get.
Get the swing of it. 4.3 degrees.
Because you look down and you're doing 70 mile an hour around a corner, you think, fucking, it's not slow, is it?
No.
You're not going slow. Look at it.
We were doing about 50, 60. That was all.
Yeah. Well, I've got Mike the bike behind me, haven't I? Look at this. What a view! What a view! Paradise. That goes out. We go along the valley there, and we go out. I can't remember the name of the canyon, but there's an iron bridge across the canyon. Visitor centre there. Buy some Navajo trinkets. I actually bought my wife's engagement ring just along here, off a roadside seller. Yes, $20 ring for a $300 wedding. So that's a price we put on our marriage, but 9 years later it's still there. So yeah, it just shows you don't need to spend a fortune on these things. Spend it on the road trip, get married along the way. That would be my advice. But when we get to the end of this valley, we turn left, go to Page, go to see Lake Powell, and there's John's Texan barbecue in Page we've got to stop at, and then push on, carry on to Kayente, and stop at checking the Best Western. But these guys look to be having fun. You can see the difference of the R18.
Forward to Marble Canyon, have we?
Yeah, it's good. This is.
It's supposed to be. Is this part of it here?
It's all. So the road goes down.
Yeah.
And it winds.
See the road.
Yeah, then it winds behind the bluff that's coming out.
Yeah.
Then it drops down. Then there's the canyon is a river. There's a river and then an iron bridge going over it
Right.
with a visitor centre there. That's worth stopping at.
Okay, we'll stop there.
Yeah, I think it's probably 20.
It's round the corner of that bluff.
Yeah, probably about 20. That's probably about 20 miles. I would have said.
I think it's the same 20, 30 miles.
Yeah. It's worth stopping there, and then Page is probably half an hour on from that.
Okay. See if we can get coffee there.
Yeah. You'll get coffee at that. Where the it's worth stopping and having a walk across that iron bridge.
Okay.
It's yeah. Cool. Right, that's it. So this is it. Cowboy ride. Dorothy's cowboy ride. On the R18s. And a bolt. And we've got a Tiger 900.
And he blames it on his tyres.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
I said, we're not riding with you, you ride too.
No, I've got to slow down. We've got to slow down. That was.
I like it.
It's. You gotta don't tell me, Mum.
I was watching your footballs.
Me what?
Is this the one you scraped?